I've called twice.
I haven't heard you. So, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Now, first of all, I want to address to Mr Bennett, who got up and attacked me. Now, I know that Mr Bennett has a love of Russians. I know that he has a love for Russians. A lot of us do. But it's no reason to predicate our immigration policy. The second thing I want to say is this bill purports to be robust. It talks about clarifying the existing Act and ensuring the integrity of the immigration system. And the Minister said this bill will be strong support for the immigration framework already in place. I would like to know what planet his colleagues are on and what planet he's on, because there is no evidence whatsoever to back up these fine words. Once again, we're in the land of things are going to get better because the National Party says so. They've had 5 years to sort out a sensible immigration policy, and today the Immigration Department is a corrupt mess. And I'll name some of the things that have backed up that evidence very shortly. Just the other day, the Minister's asked the question, how do these people get into this country and what's going on? And he called it a heinous lie. Then 5 minutes later, he's out talking to the media saying, oh, well, we've got 30 cases of people getting here, ripping up their passports, but they didn't come from Lebanon. What would that have to do with the price of fish? Because if he had studied the program properly, he would have known that it wasn't restricted to those people. No, don't come here with your untrained Dunedin mind and think you can give a shallow once-over to this very complex problem. Now, it's all window dressing. It's camouflage. What we needed is not this bill, but a full-scale independent inquiry. We have the United Nations every year talking about people trafficking to New Zealand. He denies it. So do all his colleagues. We know that women are used as slaves, sex slaves in this country. He denies it. So does his colleagues. We know that, for example, people are working slave labour, 16 hours a day in substandard conditions. He has denied it. So does his colleagues. What we want is a full-scale investigation. And the Auditor General, you know, set up an inquiry under by Helen Clark in 2008, reported in 2009. And I want to say this. It said this. We recommend that the Department of Labour review the emphasis on target setting in immigration New Zealand branches to ensure that the quality of visa and permit decisions is not compromised. They do anything about it? Nothing whatsoever. Done my big toe. Just lately, there's been an internal report that says 20% of the decisions made by Immigration New Zealand are of poor quality. What does this minister do? Oh, you know what he just said? It used to be 40%. He's just excusing his total incompetence of at least 1 in 5, 20%, and his excuse is it used to be 40%. Minister, you should be fired. You're incompetent. You don't know what you're doing. I want to say this here. I refer again to the OIG report, inquiry, Officer the Attorney General's report, made in 2009. And this is what they said on page 49 of their investigation and a review of Project Crusade. This is what they said. The department told us that the managers involved were held accountable for not adhering to the expected quality standards, end of quotes. That is another lie. And I'll tell you why. I'll just name you a number of people, 5 in particular, who were part of that investigation, and this is what happened to them. Well, team manager Sarah Clifford, undertaking Project Crusade, was promoted to branch manager. She still continues driving huge financial benefits in various roles in Immigration New Zealand. There's the first person. Regional manager Ross Grigg. Grigg at that time has recently been promoted to an area manager in Waikato. Where's the accountability going on in this organisation? All the people being fingered by the inquiry are now getting not demoted, not held to account, no, promoted. Team manager Kate Woodwards is still in Christchurch branch and was recently presented an award for her work. She was presented an award for her work. What a joke. Immigration officer Dominic Ford was responsible for approving bulk visas. He has recently been promoted as an assistant area manager in Shanghai with full diplomatic allowances worth $200,000 per annum. What's going on, Minister, in your corrupt department? Don't you know? Now, branch manager Rex Hesterman was responsible for visa approvals as part of Project Crusade in Palmerston North and the Palmerston North branch, the branch they call the Visa Factory. Just stamp on them left, right and centre. No examination, just get the numbers up. Now, Rex Heasterman, he is again promoted to an area manager role in Tonga, as recently in July 2013. Where's the accountability? He comes with this bill. It's going to strengthen the already effective department, he said. What a ministerial joke. And that's the best they can do? Listen to this, Mr. Speaker. Look, this is a clear example, these 5 promotions, of institutionalised corruption within the department. The Attorney General, the Officer of the Auditor General, has a look and says this is all going wrong. Gets told, oh no, they'll all be held to account. They weren't, were they? Oh no, they weren't. This goes on and on and on. Now, this department continues abusing taxpayer funds by creating unnecessary diplomatic seconds with very generous allowances and salaries in places like Shanghai, Pretoria, Beijing and even Vietnam. It has recently appointed numerous managers in the Shanghai branch. These are the jobs that thousands of candidates would be willing to do on a locally engaged basis. Shanghai is obviously not a third world place that Immigration New Zealand could not attract candidates from New Zealand on a locally engaged basis. This is an utter and blatant example of abuse of taxpayers' funds. But it doesn't stop there. Recently, the minister went to a recent function in Wellington. The minister went. No, I was never the Minister of Immigration, son. I was far more powerful than that. I was a Deputy Prime Minister, I was a Treasurer, I was a Foreign Minister, but I was never as lowly as Immigration Minister. But I think next time I might take that job and fix it up. I can do it in 6 months flat. I can do it in 6 months flat. And first thing I'll do is get rid of people who think like that minister over there. But here we go. Immigration New Zealand had a recent eating and drinking fest conference for all offshore and onshore managers in Wellington. The Minister of Immigration himself, this man over here, Woodhouse, Minister of Immigration himself attended the conference. More than 30 Immigration New Zealand offshore managers were flown to New Zealand on taxpayer funds. More than 30 flown on taxpayers' funds. Who is paying for such lavish abuse of taxpayers' funds? Has he not heard, Minister, of video conferences? Why fly all these people in and then go along and lavishly live, stay in the hotels? The minister comes along, it's all honky-dory. I thought he was meant to be from the party who believed in accountability and efficiency. Just one scandal after the other. And the worst thing, of course, was, earlier this year he was asked, how many overstayers are in New Zealand? And he said there were not 14, not 1,400. He said that there were 14,000 overstayers in New Zealand. And he dismissed that with a contemptuous view, so renowned of some accountants. He said it was a low number. 14,000 to him is a low number. Well, I don't know anywhere in Asia where you would find such incompetence in the Immigration Department. I don't know anywhere in fact, all of the Pacific, you would find such incompetence in the Immigration Department. But the other day, he was told that by ABC Four Corners when they said there's a whole lot of smuggling going on and all the way to New Zealand. No, up he bounces in the House, the Minister, straight up, no evidence, no facts, no research. He called it a heinous lie. Then outside, he gets caught by the media and he says, well, I will have to investigate that. I'll have to investigate that. See, he said it was a lie, but here's the real point. When I asked him, Minister, if you're wrong, will you resign? All we heard, not a syllable, not a sound, not a mutter, not a murmur. Not a squeak. Oh, no. I won't resign if I'm found to be what I know I am, incompetent. If he had any courage or conviction, he would have said, yes, I'll resign. I've told the Parliament it's a heinous lie. If I'm wrong, I will resign. Now, Minister, save us all the trouble. Resign now.
Mike Sabin.